Hello, and welcome finally to the Dark Mount video review for MakeToys Quantron himself, the full, complete, final, combined form of the not Technobots that I've been reviewing forever. I was originally planning on releasing one of these videos a day. That didn't happen, so thanks for bearing with me on that. I'm going to try to be a little more regular moving forward, hopefully. One can hope. This review is just going to be covering the actual combination. So I'm going to be going over each individual bot, transforming them really quickly into their limb mode, and then doing a combination sequence and going over the combined form itself. So I'm going to start each figure from whichever is closer to their limb mode, either vehicle mode or robot mode. Some of them are obviously in robot mode, and some of them I'm going to transform real quickly right now using magic. Alright, so as you can see, I have put these two guys into vehicle mode, and I've left the rest of them in robot mode. And I also have the combiner kibble and some guns and stuff off to the side. Alright, now for Scattershot here, technically these are forward in vehicle mode, but you can start by popping those back. And then, as if you're going to start transforming him to robot mode, you want to basically pop all this stuff out and disconnect this front part here. And you can throw those off to the side. And then stick with the core robot. So we're not really doing all that much. This right here is basically the main torso already. So you're just gonna pop out the connector pegs, come around here, you can fold the landing gear in. I'm going to disconnect the wings, like so, and then you can just fold the whole bottom and straighten the legs out. And plop this thing up on the back for now. So what we are doing here is just straighten these feet out. Not really going to be using them for obvious reasons. This outer red shell here is actually on a swivel. So you're going to lightly part the two sides here like this, and swivel it outwards and upwards until it clicks in. Like so. And then what you want to do is move this whole section up. It's on a slider. So you just fold it up like that. And I believe you want to fold these on this side, yes. So you're basically doing the same thing you did when he was in robot mode this time. Alright. And then just leave this kind of flopping out to the back like that. Same thing on this end. Straighten this out, get it out of your way. Move this up. Like so. And fold, or push, slide. Whatever. Adjective. Okay, you have those all nice and good. And like I said, just leave these kind of pointing out to the back. You can come up here, and all you're really doing up here is lowering this like so, and spinning the head around. And there you have the torso, with convenient little stands. Alrighty, now moving on to Strafe. Just want to pull his weapons off of him. I'll be putting these back on later. And he is pretty easy. All you're doing really is flopping these feet up. Turning the head around like so. Doing that. You want to fold the arms up. And this is pretty cool. I'm going to take these and just attach one weapon each to the side. Wait, I don't remember how to do this. Up here, sorry. Like so. And then you want to take these, fold the gray bit around, and plug this into the farthest white one. Hold the gray thing up. You're not trying to plug it into this hole, you're plugging it into this hole on the bottom. So you pop this into the hand, like so, and then you plug it in like so. And you actually want this to be on the outer side, so I'll just put this on. So again, plug it in, and then once it's in the hand like that, you can slide the fin into the little hole. And that holds them like this. And then you can take these and pop them on. Like that. Then you want to come around to the back, unplug this little piston thingy. Then you want to come in to the feet and fold this front part open, and you will reveal the hands, which are cleverly hidden in there. And for this guy, you want to grab the right hand. And you can just set that down. So what we're going to do here is just connect these two as if we were going back into his vehicle mode, but we are not. But you'll notice that this thing right here is sticking out. So what this is it actually is kind of designed to fill in the skeletal gap in the arms that so many people are upset about in certain third-party combiners. And the way that works is that it is designed to clip into the inner part of the knees. So you want to line that up. Like so. And then peg the legs together like so. And then when the arm moves, you get this cool thing going on. So that's neat. And then you can fold these wings in like so, get them out of your way. And then you want to just take this hand, and awesomely enough, it just snaps on right here. And it snaps on very, very securely. And there you have the right arm of Quantron. Next up, we'll take a look at Afterburner. Pop his guns out of his hand. Yeah. Get rid of these deals. And you're going to kind of make like you're going back into vehicle mode, but we're not going to go all the way there. And what you want to do here is you're going to close these up, but you're not going to close them up correctly, I guess. You're going to close them up so one is kind of like Mickey Mouse eared to the other. You should be able to do that with relative simplicity. If anything's getting in your way, don't force it because you'll probably end up breaking something. Once you get everything all situated, you can turn this sideways if you want, just to make it easier, and fold these plates back around and plug them in. Like so. And then down at the legs, just fold this up and out of your way. Down at the legs, if you'll remember from his review, if you watched it, you can fold those out. He has the second setting there. That's not for anything. In robot mode, that is. So you want to twist these around. No, my bad. You want to put these on the other side. Like this. Yeah, okay. There we go. And then make sure these feet are straight and pointing out. Come over to the other foot, open it up, grab the other hand, and you're going to have a thing in here like this. You want to make sure that this part is not turned that way. If you try to fit it in this way, it's not going to work. This part up here needs to be turned that way, and this needs to be flat. Then you are going to essentially connect it in here, just clipped on. Like that. And then again, you want to set up this little guy. Like that. And then close this all up. And then come down to these, slide onto here, like that. Which means you want this to be that way. So then he has like a swing out blaster on his arm. Which is pretty cool, dude. And there you have the second arm of Quantron. Alrighty, so we just took care of both of the legs, and now we will, arms, and now we will move on to the legs, and we'll start with Nosecone. Speaking of, remove his Nosecone, set that off to the side. I'll be putting it back on, but just for not breaking purposes. These parts forming things back here, just want to pull those off. And you're going to kind of untransform him a little bit. You want to come in here like that. Just free these back parts up, just so we don't snap them or break them or anything. And then disconnect the front part here. And it might end up disconnecting the back a little bit, but that's not a super huge problem. We're going to reconnect most of this stuff in a second. You do, however, want to pull this up like this, rotate it up and around, and these pegs are going to tab in there and there. Like so. Now this part is a little bit strange. We need to grab both of the feet, and you will notice that they actually have different connectors, which is fun. And we need to figure out which one's the right one. And it's going to clip onto these. I believe this is it. Maybe not. Sometimes it is easier. These little L's correspond with these L's, and they can only go in one way. So once you figure out how this fits in, I think usually that means you got it right. So you can pop those in first. I find that it's a little bit difficult to do it if you pop these parts in the feet first, but we can try it for the sake of this review. Yeah, see, because the problem is you need to plug it into both the L's and these top things here, which is very difficult to do. I mean, it's not super difficult, but it takes finesse. So, once you've got all that stuff back together, we figured out that this corresponds to that, which means that this is going to go the opposite way, and we just need to find the foot that that attaches to. I believe it is this. So it's going to be the one that looks like that. You're going to take these and attach them like so. And since this is backwards, you're actually going to want to twist this around. So you're basically clipping this thing right here in between these L shapes and these things. So this is probably the most difficult thing about the entire set. It's just a little bit complicated. You need to be a little bit forceful and not be scared that you're going to break it. The plastic on these toys is really, really nice. I've been very, very forceful with it, and there's zero stressing. I haven't even chipped any paint or anything, so you basically just need to shove this in there. as hard as you can. And try to get it to click into all of the different little spaces at once. Yay! Alright. Now when you actually finally get that, I recommend giving it a damn good squeeze, making sure everything is plugged in as much as anything has ever been plugged in the world before. Like I said, you can squeeze this really damn hard. It's not going to break. This plastic is all really, really nice. Also, whenever you're going to move this, I would suggest holding there. It's really not that big of a deal. Just remember to grab here if you're going to move it around, just so it doesn't all fly apart and make you very upset. Then you're just going to want to basically reconnect everything that inevitably got disconnected while you were shuffling around with that. You have Quantron, foot, Nosecone, leg, slide Nosecone back onto knee, and you are good to go. I believe that is his left leg. And for his final limb, here we have Lightspeed. I'm gonna pop his guns out. He is a little bit difficult too, kind of. All you really have to remember is that you are essentially transforming him to car mode, but with lots of things reversed. So you'll kind of see what I'm talking about, hopefully. And if not, sorry. Down below, I want to unplug his little back thing, which lets you spin his legs around. You want to come down here, fold his feet back up like you're going to car mode. And just leave these to come back around here and connect these back up. And then you want to spin this around, so instead of the windshield being connected, it's back like this. And I apologize, you do not want to connect these like that. And you're gonna spin it around like that. So I'm lying all over the place right now, don't listen to me. You want to spin these up so that they are like that. But we're not doing that yet. So leave these down here where they're not in the way while we work on the car. And I guess you can plug this in. That doesn't show, so it doesn't really matter. Come around back here, open this up because we want to, before we do anything else, make sure our combiner port is accessible. So we want stuff like this. And close that back up. And you will see there's a little divot right there that pegs into, so it keeps the combiner port from moving even though it's on a little swivel. Then what we are doing here, this is probably the part that people might find complicated, but you're basically doing the same thing that you did to put the fender together in car mode, if you remember, with like that up here and the arms folding around in the back. Except you're doing that here, and you're plugging these four arm bits into this. So and we're twisting. And we want it to be on the angled one this time, I believe. When you fold this up like that, it should, in theory, yeah. So what we were doing is having the arm folded up like this. And then this part right here and this part are plugging into that and this, and then each other. And then on top of that, once we fold these up, these are also going to be plugging into each other here. The wheels plug into each other, which is really cool. Here on the feet. And they're also going to eventually peg in to something somewhere. I don't remember. It'll become apparent when everything's plugged in where those peg into. So, I'm going to start by doing the top. There. So once we have that stuff, I would just say put that mostly in place. This is one of those guys that you kind of want to form up everything and then plug it all in. Because if you remember correctly, he's also a combiner, so we need the feet. This one is much simpler. You're just gonna plug it in there. So yeah, super simple on that one. Actually lock those together. Lock those together. And we have the whole bottom like that, and you can kind of pivot this outwards a little bit, which I would suggest doing, just for purposes of transforming stuff. And then you're going to want to connect the arm while simultaneously pegging these into there, like that. You also want to make sure that all of those arm stuffs plug into each other, and to this little gray tab thing in there. And that creates this. And these are going to tab in to these little slots in there. But I'm going to leave that until I actually hook the leg up to Quantron, and I'll probably have that be one of the last things I do. It's because these are little clear plastic tabs, and I don't want to snap them when I'm trying to get the leg on there. So just squeeze everything up, make it all good and firm, make sure everything's plugged in well, and we're good to roll.